Members and our special guest we have tonight, and we appreciate you coming. We appreciate Miss Ramcher and the choir. And this is a special time of the year, and I hope everybody enjoys themselves tonight. And we're going to honor a special person tonight, and very special person, I believe, in this parish. He's been here a long time, and we appreciate him, and I know y'all do. At this time, I'd like for, well, we got one more, we have a plaque here for Miss Lucy Plettinger. She's our reporter. She's for the last 2 years. Miss Lucy.
She went home?
Well, she left. We'll have her, we got her plaque for her, and we're going to go continue on. At this time, I asked the secretary, Miss Penny Bruyette. She's have a reading for us. Penny.
Thank you. So pleased this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and friends and family, to be here and do this presentation. In 1957, West Feliciana Parish looked very different than it does today. The ferry ran across the Mississippi to new roads, but was very different. It was not as large, carrying only a few vehicles. A fee was charged to ride it, as it was privately owned by Mr. Bear Fredericks, and snacks and soft drinks were sold at the concession stand on board. There was no Audubon Hills subdivision, no Sonic or McDonald's, no Cracker Barrel, no Audubon packaged liquor, no Choo Choo Bennett service station, and Rucker Leake's dad operated an Amoco bulk plant under Catholic Hill. Highway 61 still ran through the heart of town, and now is known as Commerce Street. And the Bold Eagle Cafe was thriving. The Princeville Canning Company operated at the banks of the Mississippi to the south of town, but there was no mat field. Crown Zellerback was not around, and no one ever dreamed that there would be a nuclear power plant in our parish. The Bank of St. Francisville now stands where the office of Dr. Philip Niebergall was. And so began our outstanding citizen's life of dedicated service to our parish at that office in that year, 1957. Where he formed a partnership with his stepfather, Dr. Philip Niebergall, for the practice of medicine. Since that time, for over 40 years, he has served the citizens of West Feliciana Parish faithfully, often putting himself and family after the needs of his patients and his community. Yes? He was born May 24th, 1928 in New Orleans, Louisiana. His father was Dr. Harley N. Gould, a professor of zoology and head of the zoology department of Newcomb College, and his mother, an anesthesiologist, was Dr. Mary Raymond Gould. His mother and father would later divorce, and his mother subsequently married Dr. Philip Niebergall. Doctors Philip and Mary Niebergall came to West Feliciana Parish from New Orleans in 1948, and they began the quest to have a hospital in West Feliciana Parish. A committee was formed in 1950 to investigate the feasibility of establishing a hospital, but the committee chairman, Dr. Frank P. Gillio, a dentist, was drafted into service in the Korean War, and the project lay dormant until 1957 with the arrival of our outstanding citizen for 1997. He was instrumental in the performance of a feasibility study by the Louisiana Department of Hospitals, assisted by the police jury and other civic groups, which, however, revealed that there were not enough financial resources to support a hospital in our area. And so the project again died for lack of support. The idea was later revived when the police jury decided to put the hospital project to a vote by the people of the parish, and the West Feliciana Parish Hospital District was established. He and Dr. Niebergall then worked closely with various medical consultants and with Mr. Clifton Lassane, architect, to design a facility which was as efficient as possible for its time. He was largely responsible for raising the funds necessary for the building of the hospital, even though his schedule was very hectic, as by that time Dr. Niebergall had passed away, and he was the only doctor in our parish. He literally went door to door to all the people of the parish he could reach and talk to, presenting the offer of Mr. Milton Underwood, owner of Rosedale Plantation, to match whatever money our parish could raise in donations and pledges toward the building of the hospital. Finally, our hospital was built in 1969 and opened for business on February 2nd, 1970. All of this and he still made house calls and kept late hours tending to patients' needs. Mr. Rucker-Leek remembers the night he and his wife called him to ask what to do about their sick baby who had a high fever. They were very young parents. The doctor advised that they give the baby an aspirin, which they did. The fever went down and the Leek family settled back in for the night, only to be wakened an hour later by the doctor, calling back to see if the baby was okay. Mary Olivo can remember the doctor picking gravel out of her very skinned up and cut knees for what she says was an interminable amount of time. I said to her, "Boy, that must have really hurt." And she said, "No, I don't remember it hurting. I just recall that he was so patient and took such care to gently remove every tiny pebble." His dedication to the hospital project has not ever stopped. He is today everything to the quality assurance program at the hospital. He reviews all the charts and activities, including general quality assurance, safety and risk management, infection control, utilization review, surgical review, death and morbidity, and blood utilization, and until very recently, pharmacology. He has served the hospital as chief of staff, and he has been our parish coroner for many years. Staying beyond his term as chief of staff, he saw that our hospital was accredited by the Joint Commission Organization of Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations. Upon accrediting the hospital, JCAHO commented that it was very unusual for a small rural hospital of this type to receive such a high rating. He is married to the former Barbara Baird, whom he met when she was secretary to the Dean of Tulane Medical School in New Orleans. She claims he was interested in her for only 2 reasons. She wrote out his report cards, and she had a parking space in the parking lot and no cars parked there. He graduated from Tulane Medical School and was one of 4 out of a class of 132 whose senior thesis, a 10-year comparison of blood pressure between black and white people, was published in the Tulane Medical School Journal. Dr. and Mrs. Gould are the parents of 5 sons, 4 of whom are here tonight. Ray is an attorney in New Orleans. Ray. Brooks works in computers and data imaging in Dallas. Is he here? He didn't get to come. Okay. Harley II is a freelance sound and set lighting designer in Atlanta. And he's not here, right? And Hal is a night auditor for the Crown Sterling Suites in Baton Rouge. And he's here. There's Hal. And David is the manager of a 100-bed Best Western in Canton, New York. David flew down with his 2-year-old daughter? 19 months. And Hal has 6 children, and he brought them all. So, let's sing a little bit. Dr. Gould is also active in his church, First Baptist of St. Francisville, where he sings in the choir and serves on the visitation, stewardship, and nominating committees, and where he has taught a men's class in Sunday school for many years. Somebody said since Eden closed down. He also enjoys the symphony, the Baton Rouge Little Theater, and the Cabaret Theater. His other interests include reading, he plays cutthroat Scrabble with his wife, and he enjoys singing. He is most fervent, however, about running, a pastime he began when he had problems with his heart in 1980. At his doctor's advice, which I guess doctors do sometimes take doctor's advice, he started running, and every day now begins with either a run on his treadmill at home or a run at the high school track or on the streets of St. Francisville with his running buddies, including Mr. Joe Tandy and Mr. Tom Talmadge, Mr. Dick Holcomb, Ken Demick, Billy DeQuilla, Terry Patterson, Bob Crowley, and Rucker Leek. He competed in a 10-mile run last Saturday, and he ran a 5-mile turkey trot on Thanksgiving Day. In 1987, he underwent a 5-way heart bypass operation, and then ran a 3-mile race in Baton Rouge 13 weeks later, and his doctor was concerned. And if any of you were listening when I said the year he was born and have done your math, he's no spring chicken to be doing all this. West Feliciana was fortunate indeed when, after completing college at the University of Illinois at Urbana, and then Tulane Medical School in 1954, then interning at Truro Infirmary, and then Cape May, New Jersey, Dr. Alfred Gould chose to return in 1957 to the parish where his parents began a legacy that he would continue. building the foundation for excellence in medical care that would not have otherwise been afforded the citizens of our parish. Ladies and gentlemen, Feliciana Civic Club is proud to present the Award of Outstanding Citizen for 1997 to Dr. Alfred Gould. We thank him for all the wonderful things he has done for our parish and our people, and we wish him well.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to do this. I think the first time I seen Dr. Gould was 1966 or 65 when I was going out for football and he gave my physical. But I always heard about Dr. Gould, see Dr. Gould around and everything, and had a good friend of mine passed away not too long ago, Captain C.C. Dixon. And Doc was his doctor, and every time I went to Captain Dixon's house to visit him, the doc's name would come up. He'd tell me, well, Dr. Gould called me and told me this, that, and the other. But Doc's name's always come up. He's always been here to help the community, and it's a privilege. West Feliciana Civic Club presents this award to Dr. Alfred Gould, Outstanding Citizen 1997, for your dedicated service. Thank you, Doc. I'm speechless.
Alfred, here, use this to be speechless. Be speechless with that.
I am speechless. And my wife will tell you that's a miracle. I was brought here tonight that I would, with the pretense that I would say a few words about a friend of mine who was being nominated for this award. And I didn't know it'd be that kind of a friend. I really appreciate this. This is something that makes me humble because there's so many people that deserve this award, so I feel humbled by this, and I appreciate it. You know, I was listening to radio this morning, and the man on the radio quoted Jesus Christ, who said, "Without me, you can do nothing." Whatever I have done that was good came from God and came from His power in me. And I give Him all the honor because this is why I've been able to do what I have done. There are many people who have helped me on this work, on this way that I've had. Over the last 40 years, I've had so many people to help me to do what I wanted to do and what I felt God wanted me to do and chose me to do. And I owe a debt of gratitude to everyone here, all of you, because each one of you has been a part of my life and has helped me along with what I have done. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate the prayers of so many of you when I was ill with my heart surgery, and it has helped me to recover. I love all of you, and it's really wonderful to have you honor me this way, and I appreciate all of this. Oh, yes. Yes, I want to introduce my family here, Hal and Charlene and...
Kids, as he calls out your name, why don't you come up here onto the bleachers? We're going to get a group shot as you all come up here.
We have Jennifer and Melissa and Benjamin and Chancellor. Oh, look at that. And Samantha and Anita. There we are. And Hal. All right. And Hal is responsible.
Carry on the Gould.
Hey, Hal, you need to get up here too.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And we have David and Madison. And where is Connor? Oh, Connor is still in New York. Madison was able to make the trip, but Connor is still in New York. And we got and we have Ray and Marlene, and that's quite a family.
Barbara's got to get up on the bleachers too.
Oh, yeah. Barbara is my wife, my encourager, my manager, my dietitian, my coach, and my disciplinarian. I wouldn't have made it. You know, when I was in the hospital with my coronary bypass, Barbara was at my side. The only time she wasn't there was when she had to feed her cats. but day and night, she stayed with me. And I remember one night they came into the room and the nurse woke me up and said, "How do you feel?" And I said, "I feel fine," or did. I was sleeping, you know. And she said, "Well, the monitor, the heart monitor says your heart rate is 157. Well, I reached up and I felt and I said, "Well, no, I don't think it is." And so she went back to look at the monitor, and one of the other nurses said, "Well, he's a doctor. Why don't you take the strip in there to him?" And so she brought the strip in, and I sat up in bed, and I took the strip, and I looked at it, and I started explaining to the nurse why the monitor was saying 157, which was incorrect, and there was some what we call artifacts in that strip. And here was two nurses and me sitting up, and we were talking about this monitor strip, and Barbara grabbed the camera and took a picture of me sitting up in bed with that. So, and you know, without her humor, I wouldn't have made it. It was her humor that picks me up so often. And so...
What was your heart rate?
About 80. Somewhere.
Barbara?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Gould.
Can we take the picture where the children are sort of in the front?